welcome to the College Football Bros. I'm Ryan Newman, and today I will be previewing and predicting Texas A&M's 2022 season. Jimbo Fisher is heading into his fifth season down there in College Station, and he's done a good job so far. He's 34-14, but I think some people, well, most people, are just wondering, can he get A&M to that next level? Can he get him to the Georgia and Alabama level? I know he beat Bama last year, but they're not quite at that level yet. I do think he's going to get him there, because I think this 2022 recruiting class that he just brought in, the best we've ever seen, I think that's going to help get him there. So let's go ahead and dive into A&M this season. Let's go ahead and talk about the offense. Last year just wasn't good enough for them. 46th in the nation in yards per play, and the passing game just really struggled, barely over 200 yards per game. Having Haynes King go down early in the season, that certainly didn't help, but improvement is needed either way. At this point, we're not 100% certain who the quarterback will be for this Aggie team. You got Haynes King, he is back. And they also brought in the transfer Max Johnson from LSU, and he played pretty well there. But then you also have the five-star true freshman Connor Wigman. He's also in the mix. But sounds like King may have a little bit of a small edge right now, which I think is actually a good sign if you're an Aggie fan, if indeed King does win the job, because that means he beat out Max Johnson, who, proven SEC solid quarterback. So I think that's just a good sign for Texas A&M. Whoever does win the job, I think they're going to have an improved wide receiver group to throw to, led by Anaya Smith, who's a big playmaker for them. And you also have the five-star true freshman, Evan Stewart. And by all accounts, he was there in the spring. He looks pretty darn good, so I think he'll be a playmaker for them. Should be able to stretch the defense a little bit better than they had in the past. Then you also have some other guys. I am partial to Moose Muhammad. I think he'll kind of break out. I like what I saw from him towards the end of last year, so looking for a breakout for Muhsin Muhammad. And then at the running back position, they do lose Isaiah Spiller, but I mean, you got more snaps now for Devin Achane, and from what I saw last year, Achane was just as good, if not better, than Spiller. So I don't think that's a loss. So as long as Achane stays healthy, running back set. Offensive line, they do lose Kenyon Green, the All-American guard, but the other four positions, I think they'll be better. So yeah, losing Green hurts, but overall, I think that line will actually be improved. So the last position we haven't talked about is tight end, Jalen Weidemeyer. That's a big loss. There's no sugarcoating that one here. They're going to be worse at that position. Weidemeyer was a stud, but overall, if you take a whole kind of overview of that offense, I see it improving. It's just a matter of, to me, can Jimbo Fisher get it to really click? Can they take a huge leap? Because they're going to be better, but how much better? I think that will go a long way to kind of determining how good this team will be this year. But expect improvement from that side of the ball for sure. Moving on to the defense here. They're going to have a new defensive coordinator after Mike Elko left to take the head coaching job there at Duke. But they bring in DJ Durkin, and he actually did a good job as the defensive coordinator at Ole Miss. So I'm not too concerned about just who's kind of coaching the defense. I think they'll be fine. The back seven of this defense is going to be really good. In particular, the secondary. You got four starters returning back there, led by the All-American Antonio Johnson. He's a stud. He can kind of play a few different places, but no matter where he is, he's good. They're also adding some depth. They get Miles Jones back, who missed most of last year with an injury, and he was a starter a couple years ago on their 901 team, so having him back will help. They also have bringing in a five-star freshman. They have a ton of five-star freshmen, but Denver Harris is one of them. He's a super talented kid, so he might be hard to keep off the field. At linebacker, Andre White, Edrin Cooper, they're both back. I think they're both good playmakers, so not too worried about that. The question for the defense is the defensive line. They lost a lot from their really good defensive line. 3 guys who had at least 7 sacks, they're gone, plus the big defensive tackle Jaden Peavy. So they really need some new faces to step up and kind of fill the large void left by those guys. But they have plenty of options. They brought in the best recruiting class of defensive linemen I think you'll ever see. 4 5-stars on the D-line alone. Then toss in a couple of lowly rated 4-stars as well, but they're going to have plenty of options there. But aside from those freshmen, the guys that they have already, I think they're going to be pretty darn good. They got big McKinley Jackson. He played quite a bit of snaps last year. I think he's going to be good. Shamar Turner, liked what I've seen from him. the guy I personally really like for a breakout year is Tunmise Adeleye. I think I might have said that right, but I think he's going to have a breakout year. So overall, I mean, this D-line, is it going to be as good as it was last year? Probably not right out of the gate. Maybe towards the end of the season when those freshmen get more and more reps, possibly. But looking ahead to 2023 and ahead to 2024, I mean, that D-line should be arguably the best in the country in those couple of years. So look out for them. This defense is going to be really good. I'm not worried about it at all. So now let's take a look what they got on the schedule. All right, so we start off with the home game against Sam Houston State, 1-0. Appalachian State comes to town. Appalachian State's a good program. That's not certainly no gimme, but I think Texas A&M's the classier team there. So 2-0. Miami, this is a big one. You got Mario Cristobal, the new head coach there at Miami. Tyler Van Dyke, good quarterback, played really well towards the end of last year. But I don't think they can go into College Station and pull off the win there. So I'm going to give that win to Texas A&M. Then a big one, Arkansas. Arkansas beat Texas A&M last year in a kind of a low-scoring game. Texas A&M fans were used to that. But this one's being played in Arlington. I'm going to take Texas A&M this year. I think they'll get them back. I'm a little worried about Arkansas's offense, their passing game in particular. I don't know if their defense is going to be good enough. So I like Texas A&M to get to 4-0. At Mississippi State's next. This is a tough one because I'm high on Mississippi State. I think they're going to be really good. Will Rogers is a great quarterback, and Mike Leach is in his third season, which is usually when he kind of turns it on, and at least he has in his previous head coaching stops. So I think Mississippi State's going to get the win there. So that'll be A&M's first loss. That's 4-1, and then 1-1 in the conference. At Alabama, I know Texas A&M beat them last year. That was just one of the best games of the whole season. But Bama is they look so good. I mean, both sides of the ball, they should just be elite. So got to count that as a loss. 4-2 now. They get a bye after Bama. So after 6 games, they get a bye, kind of recuperate for the second half of the season, which I think is favorable for Texas A&M. They start off at South Carolina. Carolina should be an improved team, no doubt about it. Spencer Rattler, the transfer from OU, I think he'll be a vastly improved, over what they had last year. But I still don't think they're ready to beat A&M. So give them that one win to A&M, 5-2. Now then you got Ole Miss. Ole Miss is coming into town. We don't know who's going to be the quarterback for Ole Miss, but whoever it is, I'm sure Lane Kiffin will have a pretty good offense. So this one could be pretty exciting. But I think A&M will get the win here. So I got 6-2 now. Then Florida comes to town. I'm high on Florida. I think they're going to be better than some people think. But at A&M's too tough. So I'll say A&M gets the win, and they're at 7-2. At Auburn, I'm just not seeing it for Auburn this year. Not very high on them. I know they have some returning pieces back, and there's some talent there, but just the turmoil, and I just never really liked the hire of Brian Harsin to begin with. Didn't think he was that great of a coach. So I'm going to say A&M gets the win there. 8-2. Then they get the kind of the late gimme. They got UMass comes in, so one of the worst teams in FBS, get the win, 9-2. And they finish with a game against LSU. That's some rivalry game for them now, and should be a good one. I think LSU is going to be improved. I like Brian Kelly as a coach. So by that point, maybe his system will be more in place. So, they should be all right, but not good enough to beat A&M. So overall, I'm giving A&M, I'm predicting 10-2, 6-2 in the conference. So a very, very good season for Jimbo Fisher. Not good enough for a playoff or to make the SEC title game, but it is good enough for a New Year's Six bowl. In which I think heading into 2023, if they have so much young talent, I think 2023 could really be the special year. So this will be a kind of a springboard year for them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think about Texas A&M? Think I'm too high on them? Probably, maybe a little bit, but give me your honest opinion. I'd like to hear you guys' opinions, and I'll see you in the chat.
You've been watching the College Football Bros. Be sure to subscribe here on YouTube and in your podcast app for college football content all year round. For bonus episodes and access to our Discord chat, join our Patreon at patreon.com/collegefootballbros. Thanks for watching.